Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another 2028 election prediction. This time we have Vice President J.D. Vance up against Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. So they faced before in the VP debate, and Vance, he was very charismatic in the debate. He won on, I'd say, persuasion in that debate, while Tim Walz was a bit more of an honest candidate in the debate and still did tell some lies there. Overall, it's kind of mixed on whether the debate was tied or whether Vance won. So Tim Walz would obviously have to improve his debating skills because I don't think he really did the best in that debate. So if he were to face Vance again, he would have to be more ready at this time and less nervous and more focused. But let's just get into this. So starting off, Florida and Texas, just be safe, right? I don't think Walz would have much of a chance in these two states that went to Trump by over 10 points each. Ohio would also be safer. At Iowa, Tim Walz is from Minnesota. I think he could do some good appeal in the state of Iowa, and I think he'd be able to get it down to like a 9-point win for Vance. Still a likely red state. I think Walz would do better than Harris did. Nebraska's second, so I think he'd make that a likely blue district. Same with Minnesota, New Mexico, Virginia, New Jersey, all would be likely blue. In New Hampshire and Maine, I'd put New Hampshire as down as lean blue. I think it'll be like a 4-point win for Tim Walz here. Well, Maine would be like likely blue. Same with Maine second, likely red. And now we're down to the 7 true swing states here. Starting off with Arizona and Nevada, I think Vance would win in the state of Arizona. Same with winning in Nevada. I think the Republican advantage here would only grow. And I don't think Tim Walz would be able to win enough Republicans and independents in Arizona to flip that state blue just because of the registration advantage keeps going in favor of the Republicans here in this state. Nevada, it's kind of the same story here. The Republican advantage keeps growing. Tim Walz needs to get very good margins with independents. He just can't like simply win independent by a narrow margin. He has to win them by like a bigger margin, like by 10 points instead of 2 points. So I'm putting that state as lean red. In the southern states, Georgia and North Carolina, I don't think Walz has the best shot at winning in North Carolina. I'd put it as a lean red state. Georgia, a lot of Atlanta still trended blue from 2024, well, 2020 to 24. So in 2028, I think it'll be a lot closer than it was last time, but I still think Vance would have a narrow advantage here by a tilt-red margin. So now Vance, all he needs is to pick off a single Rust Belt state. We'll start off with Wisconsin. This was Harris's best swing state. She only lost it by 0.9. I think Walz would actually be able to narrowly win it over J.D. Vance. I think him being from Minnesota, I think he would get a lot of good margins in Waukesha County in Wisconsin, which trended left still. I think overall he'd be able to win back Wisconsin. I also think the same for Michigan. I don't think Arab/Muslim voters are always going to be mad at the Democrats for what's going on in Gaza. I think it's possible that they get mad at Republicans because they're just letting Israel do whatever they want there, and now the U.S. supposedly is going to take control of that region. I think that would anger them. So I think Democrats would be able to win back some of that margin in Detroit, especially with Tim Walz, who I don't think is that bad of a candidate. He did a lot of good things in his state of Minnesota as governor. Free school lunches for kids. I believe they legalized marijuana there. So they did a lot of good things in that state, and I think as long as he focuses on populist messaging and as long as he doesn't let those consultants in the Democratic Party like tell him to not do as much TV interviews when he was honestly pretty good at them, as long as he just bees himself, I think he could win back Michigan. However, it comes down to Pennsylvania here, and I still think that Vance would have a narrow advantage in Pennsylvania. Tim Walz would make it close, but I just think with Vance being a bit more charismatic than him, I think that would kind of matter in the state of Pennsylvania. So it would be a narrow victory for Vance. I think it would be closer than you would expect. Some people would think Vance would win 312 electoral votes. I honestly think it would be closer. Tim Walz was very liked on the campaign trail. He had higher favorables than Kamala Harris did. So that shows he's not that bad of a candidate. And, Democrats should maybe not automatically write him off just because he was a losing candidate just because he was on the VP slot of that ticket. Just because he's a losing candidate, you shouldn't really write him off. I think there's worse Democratic candidates out there, like Newsom, who I believe can't win at all. Walz is certainly an upgrade over that. And he still has a real path of victory here. He just needs to win Pennsylvania, and he could even pick off Georgia potentially. But I think Vance would still be the favorite in a scenario like this. So let me know what you think of this video down in the comments below. If you're new to this channel, you should totally subscribe if you enjoy content like this. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.